Hello, welcome to another video. And I wasn't sure whether I'd do two videos in one day, but I am recording this one after I've done the first one, and also after editing that and uploading it. But earlier on I did the Xbox E3 press briefing video, and now I'm making one about Bethesda, who've also had a press briefing. And that started at 1:30 in the morning, and as I talk now it's just after 3 AM as I film this. So I decided I could have waited till the morning to film it, but I wanted to just film it while it was fresh in the mind. I'll do the editing in the morning. I'm absolutely flipping bushed. I need some sleep. But what we had was the press briefing. It was it about an hour and a quarter, hour and 20 minutes. It improved towards the end, but it started off with a sort of cringe fest opening with all the staff sort of waffling away about what working at Bethesda means to them, and then they all stand there and go, "We are Bethesda." Then once the presentation proper started, and we had a guy called Pete Haynes before we got the main man, Todd Howard, who he looks a bit like John Anderson from Yes from back in the day, just with his sort of hair flowing. That's who he reminds me of anyway. But both before that and also when he came on stage, they addressed the elephant in the room, which was Fallout 76, by showing, early on they showed talking about it was their way of acting on feedback, and also by bringing it into the press briefing, they also addressed it there as well. For those who don't know what the problems were, there were many problems. They released an online-only multiplayer game with no NPCs or non-player characters. So basically, the only people you get to see in the entire game would be other real people playing the game. And if there aren't an awful lot of real people playing the game, or wherever you are in the game, you're going to have a pretty empty, solitary experience. So that's the one thing. Also, there are a number of other issues along the way. One was the fact that the special edition came with a canvas bag, a Fallout 76 canvas bag, except when the canvas bags arrived, they weren't made out of canvas. I think they were made out of nylon, and people who spent all that money were not happy at all. I understand that they are making canvas bags. I'm not sure whether they're due to get sent out this week or whether it's sometime soon, but it's happening finally, but not without an awful lot of bloody backlash from the community. But you'd think with all that debacle they'd want to drop Fallout 76 like a hot potato, the same way that EA did with Anthem, but no, they're continuing with it. They're coming up with Wastelanders, a new expansion which will actually have NPCs, and is part of a long-term story that they've got planned. So clearly they'd already invested so much in it that they can't, it's too big to fail. They can't just shelve it. Personally, I've never played it, Fallout 76, mainly because I'm not into multiplayer games. However, when it flopped in some certain areas, it was on sale for a mere £10. Some people will have paid 60 quid, even maybe more. Well, obviously with the canvas bag, they'll have paid even more than that. But yeah, to knock it down to £10, it's not good, is it? But even if £10 is too much for you, then all this week from June the 10th to June the 17th, it's free as a free trial. So clearly they realise they've got a lot of ground to make up. Whether it works out, who knows. Also, they've also got Nuclear Winter, which is new Battle Royale mode for it. God, who cares? I mean, I know Fortnite's the big thing, or Apex Legends, or whatever's coming up next, but who cares? Of the other games, they've also got Elder Scrolls Online Blades. Yeah, we've had Blades before. Well, they mentioned it before anyway. I mean, that's a mobile phone game. I just couldn't care less about. It's going to be on the Nintendo Switch as well. I don't have one of those, but as a platform, the Nintendo Switch makes sense. But then later we got Elder Scrolls Online ELSWEYR, or Elsewhere. Yeah, so Elder Scrolls Online Elsewhere, which to me just looks more of the same, really. I mean, it was quite a fun trailer, even though the striking down of a dragon was pretty much a scene-for-scene rip-off of the early part of the third Hobbit film when they dispatched of Smaug. Then later we got an overly elaborate trailer for another mobile phone game, The Elder Scrolls Legends. It's free and it's a card game. Then there was another mention of an Elder Scrolls game, Moons of Elsewhere. I mean, come on, enough already. I know you got to make money, but Christ on a bike, just stop milking the same bloody thing and come up with some more ideas. But talking of coming up with new ideas, there's a game based on Commander Keen. They described it as a video game of a cartoon style series. I didn't quite grasp what they were going on about there. I mean, it's a game that was first created by John Romero, John Carmack and Tom Hall at id Software, who brought us the original Doom and Quake. This, I've seen a bit of Commander Keen before. I wasn't really working out where this was going, but I won't be playing it. It's on mobile phones, iOS and Android. You've all got mobile phones, right? But there was something new. We had Ghostwire Tokyo, which was an action-adventure where you fight the supernatural evil, and the tagline is, "Don't fear the unknown, attack it." I think I understood that, but the Japanese guy was quite difficult to understand, and there were no subtitles. However, then we got a young Japanese woman called Ikumi Nakamura. I mean, East Asian women, they really are the hottest in the world. However, I didn't really grasp what she was saying either, but the world looks very sort of Blade Runner style, a bit like Cyberpunk 2077, which we saw on Xbox's press briefing earlier. But in this trailer, it was very weird. Everyone just disappears, leaving their clothes behind, as if the rapture has happened, except taking everybody. It's just a real mishmash of images with a mysterious protagonist with a man with a sort of bow and arrow on his back. But like a lot of Xbox trailers, it was just a load of CGI cutscenes rather than sort of showing us the gameplay and what we'll actually get. And when I had a look on Twitter at the same time, there were a lot of people saying, just show us gameplay. That's what was missing. Along the way we had a Rage 2 expansion pack, don't care. A bloke called Jerk Gustafsson, who looked a bit like Andy Kaufman and sounded a bit like him, just came out with Wolfenstein Cyberpilot, the VR game, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. Both out in July and both which were announced last year, so yeah, we covered those. Youngblood looks alright, not too fussed about Cyberpilot, but Youngblood, you can play by yourself or team up with a friend, since it's, the idea is it's two sisters working together. Looks alright. Then there's also a game called Deathloop, which is a dystopian future where you're sort of shooting everyone and repeating the same day over and over, although ultimately it seems to be the same one man up against the same one woman, and they're just trying to kill each other. And it's just a bit like Groundhog Day in a way, but again, it was a CGI trailer that just didn't sort of show the gameplay proper, so that was pretty disappointing. Then came something I wasn't really expecting, and quite frankly, I sort of tuned out a little bit at this point, partly because I'm a bit tired. But they're coming up with something called Orion, which is like a streaming service, streaming games this way. Basically, it seems to be Bethesda's equivalent of Google Stadia. Everyone seems to be getting in on the act with Xbox doing their Project X Cloud. But in this case, they say it won't be a problem with data caps, which is a problem for Google Stadia. I don't know quite how that'll happen because they didn't explain. And you'll still be able to stream on maximum settings. We saw a member of the team playing Doom 2016 on an Nvidia Shield without any issues, but still, I don't care about streaming games, so... However, what is interesting is that all these companies just seem to be trying to kill off Google Stadia before it starts. I mean, I joked during the Xbox one that Google Stadia will kill off Google Stadia, but it seems like other people are trying to sort of kick it while it's down. And then we get to the big cheese, and it's Doom Eternal, where Earth is on the brink of extinction with lots of demons and lots of over-the-top killing. I've only had a very sort of brief play of Doom 2016, including the VFR version, which the VR was pretty good, but the game was a bit. I mean, I played a bit of the multiplayer sort of test of the Doom 2016 game, and it looks great, but I don't know, it didn't quite grab me at the time. This, as for Doom Eternal, it looks okay. It's not the original Doom, but it looks quite something. It's weird. In fact, it looks like a photorealistic set of images, as if it's one of those 80s Laserdisc games where the computer graphics have been overlaid on the backdrop of a film set. When it comes to the release date, it's actually out on November the 22nd, and you can also buy an edition with a Doom Guy helmet. You think after Fallout 76 they'd sort of stay away from special editions, but anyway. And they're also bringing in a multiplayer version called Battle Mode. Multiplayer, yeah, doesn't really fuss me at all, but I don't know, maybe it'll work for you. But I mean, so out of all these things, it's just Doom Eternal is really the only one thing of interest that's there for me, well, as well as Akumo Nakamura, of course. So which games are you looking forward to after what you've seen in this press briefing? Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video and share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the little bell to get all the notifications. And I'm going to go to bed now. Cue Genesis.